Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. So for weeks and weeks, even months at this point, we have looked at one specific thing here on the channel. And we have said that this is actually the thing that kickstarts all the rallies that we have seen with JASMY. And if you're a regular on this channel, you know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about this blue line that you see right there, and that is the 50-day moving average. And take a look at how this thing was holding pretty well in chaos, and now we're producing gold candles right there. Now I think that the best is yet to come for the JASMY price chart. I will talk about all those things today, but let me just give context to people who are probably watching this for the very first time. And what we were talking about basically was saying that when JASMY breaks this 50-day moving average, it goes up a little bit, comes back to back test it, and then off and away, it's sending very much strongly towards the upside. It was also the case back then in, I think this was right around February or January 2024, May actually. And you can see pretty much the same thing happening right there across that 50-day moving average, and your bull run actually begins. You can see from previous videos that these are areas or moments in which something like that has happened, and some of those things have actually returned as high as 400% in terms of rallies, right? So we can go as far back as 2023. So it already is something that is very much established right there. Now the good thing here is that in as much as we have waited for months and months for the moment to finally happen, it's already here, and that is why you are seeing JASMY perform greatly as it is doing right at this point. But as I said, I think that the best is yet to come, because if we come and look at this very much closely, you remember in my last few updates also we have been talking about this falling wedge, saying that look, these falling wedges are bullish patterns, and they've got a success rate of above 66% to go ahead and reach their price target, of which, I mean, technically speaking, the price target would be the top of the wedge. And also, if you remember closely, what we were talking about here was a price target of right around 2 cents, 2.2 cents thereabout for JASMY. Still, I think that stands very much. But of course, 2.2 cents from 1.9 cents is not all that great at this point, I know, but I will just come back and tie it and show you how that also, changes the bigger picture right there. But I also want you to notice something here, that even when we're talking about those falling wedges for JASMY, like this one or this one or this one here, yeah, we target usually the top of the wedge. But what we have seen time and again is that JASMY actually goes ahead and hits way above, those tops of those wedges, and you can see pretty much a consistent pattern here. Usually this should be your technical price target here, but the whole thing goes on to expand even way much more further, right? Like more than a 40%. I mean, it was pretty much also the same thing right here with this falling wedge, that you see that okay, this should be your technical price target here, but then again the price goes on to do even something way much better than that. I mean, also pretty much the same thing here. So I think you can already see the patterns that emerge here for JASMY time and again. I mean, I can refer to this one. Technically speaking, this right here should be your technical price target, but then again, take a look at what happens, right? Eventually you pump another maybe 250%, whatever the case may be. And where I'm getting with this is that 2.2 cents here for JASMY is not the last price target that it can do. I'm very much sure that JASMY is going to do even way much greater than that. I mean, I'm going to be showing you some numbers very quickly, but before we continue, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It will tell the YouTube algorithm that yes, this video is very much relevant and you want to be seeing more of this content. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because I do TA on JASMY and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. And of course, let me not continue to run my mouth too much. Let's get right into what I was talking about. Now, if you take a look at the 2.2 cents, price target that I was talking about, you realize that it is, of course, a moment of, support, resistance, whatever the case may be. So there is a lot of traffic right around this area. Now, if the JASMY price set here, which I think more likely than not is going to be able to break here, have somewhat of a, small back test, maybe on a 4-hourly time frame, on an 8-hourly time frame, really doesn't matter. I think here we're on for something that is really, really massive. As I've shown you with those falling wedges, that it's not like, they'll be limited at the top of the, wedge, which is 2.2 cents. They will actually go ahead and do something, much bigger than that. So I'm looking for JASMY to go ahead and hit more than the 6 cents that it was hitting back in, December 2024. And from there, I'm looking for like the first signs of expansion to come here for JASMY. As you can see, I've already drawn this arrow, probably because we were discussing it in previous videos. And I mean, it's very simple math here. What we usually do when we are escaping a range is to make use of our Fibonacci retracement tools from the very top right here, which will be 6 cents. until the bottom that we hit. We are looking at initially 9.2 cents here for JASMY, but finally we are expecting a price to get over as high as like 23 cents here for JASMY, and I think it's something that is very much still achievable. Of course, I've got a highest price to get off right around like 32 cents, but it doesn't say that you shouldn't sell before 32 cents happens, right? So actually I posted on X the other day my exit strategy, which I think I'm gonna be making a full video on that on JASMY, which I'm gonna be selling as we continue to go higher, because you really can't wait for one specific price to get. What if it never gets hit, right? And then you end up taking a round trip to probably another minus 99%. I mean, this is exactly the same story that we have seen over and over again in crypto, and it can also happen again. So it's going to be very important as we move forward to realize some profits when we start hitting some specific price targets here for JASMY. But my message today really is just that that thing that we have been looking for months and months. Obviously, I know that people were not paying attention to JASMY. We would see like 600 views, 700 views at most. But now that the price is risen, I'm very sure that we're going to be seeing thousands of views, but probably maybe late. But for those people who have been paying attention, I want to just say congratulations, because this is actually the beginning of something. Just as I showed you with those other examples, that when we have had this kind of things coming together, it has been a moment of fireworks here for JASMY. Now, because you have been watching this video up until the end, I want to show you this amazing welcome bonus that I've prepared for you with the partnership that we have with Bitunix. So what they are doing here is that if you just go ahead and register with their exchange, just registering gets you something like 10 bucks, right, to trade. And then of course, once you start depositing, right, just as an example here, if you deposit like $1,000, you get like $200 in terms of a bonus that you can trade and even make much more money on that. $2,500 gets you somewhere around $500, and I think that's really amazing altogether. It doesn't end there actually, right? So the more you keep trading on their exchange, actually that's also more bonuses that you can get. So in total, there is more than $1,000 that you can walk away with here and even trade it to make much more money on that. We call it a gift that keeps giving. And if you want to be accessing all this, I have put a link in the description. Make sure that you use the referral code that is right there, because as you can see, this event is specific to the crypto fund community, right? So if you don't use that referral code, I'm sorry, you don't get anything right there, right? So if you're also interested in one-on-one trading with me and other Patreon members, feel free to join our Patreon, and we can send you a Discord link via there. Then you get to join us very much easily. We have taken a lot of trades actually over the last few weeks in preparation for this specific moment, and I can tell you that all of them, they're in green right now and they're working out very much fantastic. I mean, the minimum that we have in terms of like profits is right around like a 49%, and that's JASMY. But we also have got like good ones which are up as high as 200% the last time I checked. So we're doing fantastic right there as well. The link is also there in the description. And then if you want to be, so I want to thank you so much. With that being said, I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and I'll see you on the next one. Take good care of yourselves. Bye bye.